Okay, finally. Hey everyone, I'm back with a new video and you probably are wondering where I've been all this time. A summary is I was doing my first year at Cornell University and now I'm finally home, and I really wanted to make a video of the biggest lessons I learned during freshman year at college. A little disclaimer before I start. The lessons that I'm about to say apply to universities in the United States where one goes to university and is housed in the university in university dorms, and they may not apply to universities outside of the United States. So, disclaimer. So one of the biggest lessons I think was how random it is to meet people. In order to demonstrate kind of like what I mean by this, I'll tell you a little bit about how I met my closest friends in college. So one, I met through the Facebook group. Before I even arrived to college, I saw that she was, she came from where I came from, and I was like, ooh, that's exciting, okay. We made contact, we started talking, so I already knew her. I knew her online before I actually arrived on campus. But then another one of my friends I met, for example, during orientation week at a cafeteria, she randomly just sat down at a table where I was sitting, and we started talking, and we went to an orientation event together after that, and then one thing led to another, and we became close friends. And then I would say another example of this is just meeting people, for example, at a party or something like that. This was a party organized by one of the school organizations, and I randomly started talking to this guy, and then now he's a very, very close friend. So it's just whoever you start talking to in classes, during orientation week, just anywhere on campus. But honestly, it's completely random, and that's kind of so great because you leave your dorm every day and like who knows who you're going to meet. So I kind of like that excitement, that uncertainty. Another lesson that I learned is that it's very hard to find the balance between the things that matter. So academics, exercise, social life, and healthy eating. So just health, mental health in general. And that's a little bit concerning because in the first weeks, I think or even in the first semester, I would say, one is puts so much emphasis on the social aspect of one's life, at least for me, I can speak personally for me, that you forget that you need to allocate time to exercise. And so striking that balance is definitely one of the hardest things that I encountered this year. And I can't say I found that balance yet, but being aware that one needs to find that balance is, I think, the first step in actually finding it. And so, for example, the food aspect, I had never really eaten in cafeterias before going to college, and so going into an all-you-can-eat cafeteria was, wonderful in one respect, but horrible in another because there's unlimited food. One is used to more of like the restricted quantities that there is in a normal household. So I think that that's something that I think that's something that can be quite challenging, but it is definitely something that one can reach. I know so many students struggle with this in order to, social life, their grades, and just being mentally healthy. The mental aspect of this is the most important, I think, because without that, one can't be social and one can't do well in school. So one just needs to set aside time to exercise. So in second semester, I allocated twice during the work week to do an hour and a half of exercise, and that just needs to be consistent, because if you're not consistent, then it's just not going to work. And in terms of healthy eating, I think it's important to recognize what you're putting in your body and making a conscious effort to eat healthy, knowing that eating healthy will translate into your mental health and how you feel with your body, and that's really, really important, at least for me. A very important lesson I learned this year was also that seeking help will get you places. So a lot of students go into university thinking that they know it all, that they don't need help because in high school they may not have had tutoring or things like that. But in college, literally everyone, has used a tutor, goes to support classes, and seeking help not only gives you the immediate, returned help that you're seeking for, but it also gives you more contact with professors. So if you're going to office hours, the professors get to know you. Or for example, if you're looking for tutoring from older students, then that gives you an opportunity to talk to someone that's older, who's more experienced. Also, if you're working in a lab or something like that, there are older students that are not only older undergraduate students, but there are graduate students or postdoc students who are in kind of like that next stage in life and who can not only offer academic help, but also life advice. And that is so, so helpful to hear from them about the things that they wish they could have done better in their undergrad or things like that. And I think that I benefited so much from talking to older students, and that's just because I was asking for help. So don't be ashamed. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Everyone needs help. And along those lines, I wanted to emphasize that it's also okay to seek a psychologist at universities. There's usually, I can't promise that there is at your institution, but a mental health part in the health center, and there's psychologists to talk to about your issues. Maybe it's stress management, or maybe there are some relationship issues that are happening in college. I feel like this is, for most people, I would say, except for the people from boarding schools or things like that, the first time that they're living away from home. And at 18 years old, when you leave home, there's certain things that you're not used to managing by yourself, maybe. And it is perfectly fine to ask for help and seek those resources out. This is kind of like the culmination of a lot of my points that I already said, because that can help you deal with the things better, and that will lead to a better academic performance, just you feeling better, and that'll translate, as I said before, to all aspects of your life. So there's a lot of these things I feel like have some sort of stigma, but I sought out psychologists since first semester, and I feel like that helped me remain kind of like grounded and not get caught up in all my thoughts and things that were happening around me. So yeah, just a little tip. And then I think the biggest lesson that I learned this year is that life can be very uncertain. As a person who likes to plan things in advance, likes to organize everything beforehand, didn't really like spontaneity in my life. That came as a big shocker for me, because you cannot plan life. Life just happens. And I feel like the key to my success this year, or I don't even want to call it success, it's just my survival this year, or why I guess like I thrived in a environment like a university campus, was accepting that that state of mind, you know, that spontaneous, that uncertain state of mind. But it took me some time to understand that that's how things worked. Just the opportunities that become available to you. You won't know what opportunities are actually there because they're just infinite opportunities. And I feel like that is the key to surviving this year. It's understanding that things will come and you can't take advantage of everything, but to take advantage of some of those things, the things that you have a gut feeling about, and just run with that and take advantage of the opportunities and meet new people, be open to meeting new people, no matter what time of the year it is. And I think that was key. What I'm telling you is be ready for a really cool journey of learning new things and meeting new people and yeah, basically that. And just for those who are starting college this year, be super excited. It is so good. It is so fun. But only if you're in that state of mind. So I feel like the state of mind that you go in to your first year is key. It really does make a difference. And if you guys want me to make a video about any aspect of my first year, please leave it in the comments below. I will be reading them and answering them. And actually, I really want to hear what you guys learned in your first year in college, whether you just had it or it was a long time ago. And for the people that are not in college yet, kind of like, what are you looking forward to in college? Because it's about to be so fun. I'm excited to start making new videos for you, and I will see you super, super soon. Bye!